All right, y'all, we are live on this beautiful Sunday. Blessings to everybody in the name of Jesus the Messiah, Yeshua the Messiah. I pray everybody is very, very blessed on this beautiful day. Man, we are going to be getting into this Bitcoin price action, y'all. We are going to be talking about this unfolding move to the downside. We're going to be talking about targets. We're going to be talking about what I am looking at right here. So make sure to like the stream, make sure to subscribe to the channel, make sure to click that bell for notifications. Things are going to be getting juicy, and we're going to be getting right into this momentarily. Stay tuned. All right, y'all. Oof. We are live, guys, on this crazy Sunday. Blessings to everybody. Hope everyone is having a wonderful weekend. Shout out to everybody right now in the chat. What is going on, y'all? Shout out to Dasvin Music. Shout out to Quantifiable. Correct. Says this is hard to trade. Indeed, this is a little bit difficult to trade, guys. I actually just got stopped out of a longing the high volume node. Basically, here, let me show you guys what I just did before this stream began. So I was hoping to be in a fresh long on this stream. What happened was we came down to this high volume node, this point of control right here, guys, and we did absolutely get a nice little bounce from it right here. And if we take a look at our indicator market Cipher B, we could see that as we came down to that zone, we were in fact even printing the bullish divergences on the 12-minute time frame here. I did take a profit, but it was literally just enough to stop me out at even still a small loss, essentially a break even. So yeah, let's get over this price action right now, because we are at a very key place on the Bitcoin chart right now. So you know, as we know, we have been absolutely seeing some bearishness form on the charts ever since we hit into our zone of key resistance. In fact, if we head over to a higher term time frame and we go to like the 4 hour and we just zoom out here, we can see that we are absolutely coming up to a zone of key resistance, which is why, guys, you know, I've been saying it this entire time that things are starting to look bearish. I've been saying on my channel, look, we're forming the upside down Sam Bankman-Fried bearish man boot pattern here on Market Cipher B, where as the price is getting higher and higher, the momentum weights are getting lower, the money flow is getting lower. I even brought up the fact that we have broken down below this trend on Market Cipher B on the 4 hour. And, you know, this is such a key level, and I want to discuss why where we're at right now is so dang key. The reason why is because we are literally now at the center point of this sideways range that we have been trading now for the past 2 weeks. And if we lose, if we can't hold this level right here, then there's a very good chance that we come back down to our next major zone at 22,550. 22,550 is the next zone of support that we have in this sideways range. And if we don't hold that, then we are looking back down to the lows that we have here at about 22.3. So locally speaking right now, where we're at right now, 22.9, this is a level of support. And if we can hold this level of support, great for more upside. If we lose this level of support, 22,550 is the next local zone of support. And then below that, of course, 22.3 is the next local zone of support. And you know, what is the price going to do? As we always say, depends. We can't know for certain what price is going to do, but we can have plans to take action regardless of what this price does. And as always, guys, shout out to Da Vinci for being the model for the depends. I really appreciate it, keeping me from getting liquidated, because we absolutely have maximum absorbency going on here. I want to just kind of zoom out a little bit, take a look at, you know, some of these higher term time frames, and just like zoom out on Market Cipher and see what we see here. Obviously, the 4 hours looking kind of bearish. When we go to the daily time frame, the daily time frame is obviously looking like momentum's ticking down, coming down a bit. However, I do still think that there is still room for upside, and I am not getting overly bearish on this chart. And I should say, I'm not even expecting a move down to like 21K right now, unless we lose 22.3. And the reason why is because, just objectively speaking, when we have a sideways range like the one we have been trading here, as long as we don't lose this range to the downside, there really is no reason to get super, super bearish. Okay, we know our next zones of support, what they are. 22, 500, and then 22, 300. And so, yeah, there's really no reason to get super, super bearish about that right now, right? Look at the past 2 weeks. We've come from the low to the high, to the low, to the high, to the low, to the high. So if we come all the way back down to the low, there really is no reason to get overly bearish. And now here's one more thing. Okay, and I should preface all of this, right? Because I've been posting a lot of content. I know I have a lot of new subscribers, so shout out to all my new subscribers. And by the way, if you are new, make sure to like, subscribe, click the bell. Look, I've been posting bearish content. I've been posting bullish content. I should clarify. I am bullish when I'm looking at the weekly, when I'm looking at the monthly, when I'm looking at past Bitcoin cycles. I am bullish. When I am on the 4 hour, when I am on the 1 hour, I've been saying it for a long time, pretty much ever since we came up to this high, that I'm expecting a pullback. In fact, even hoping for a pullback. Because if we do get a pullback, well, that's going to give us an opportunity to get in at a good price, right? It's unsustainable to just keep going up forever. But if I'm looking at the monthly time frame, if I'm looking at the weekly time frame, of course I'm going to be bullish, right? I'm going to be bullish on those time frames. But on the 4 hour and down, yeah, things are looking like we're about time ready for a pullback. About time ready for a pullback, which is why we gave the short setup in advance over in the Casper Crew VIP Discord, looking to take a short from 24,000. And that is why I am in the short trade right now, also from $24,218, right? Holding this short trade from that high. Okay, so, you know, just to clarify on where I stand right now with this. By the way, if you do want to join the Casper Crew VIP Discord, you can go to patreon.com/JasonCasper. Also, we still do have 0% limit fees over on ByBit. Okay, I'm not trying to shill an exchange, but in all seriousness, if you're going to be trading, 0% limit fees is legitimately a good deal. This is only for people who know how to trade. Cool, so all that to say, yeah, as long as we don't lose basically this sideways range here, I'm still saying there is still more room for upside. Okay, so if we do start to get more of a pullback here, when we're looking at the 1 hour time frame, we don't really see any bullish divergences right now. None at all. In fact, there was a chance earlier this morning that we were going to get a bullish divergence on some of these medium-term time frames when we came down to test the bottom of this channel. But now we can see the 1 hour is forming a much lower wave. And for me, this actually says that I expect more downside. I'm actually expecting more downside, a little bit more than I'm expecting upside. Could I be wrong? Of course. Of course. But I am expecting a little bit more downside from here, and the reason is because, as I was saying, the 4 hour is very bearish, the 1 hour looks like there's more downside, even when we go down to the 24-minute time frame, right? There is still room for downside here. Now, we do have to be objective and say, look, we do have divergences forming on the 24-minute right here. We also, potentially, it's very hard to say, right? Is this even a divergence? I don't even know, right? Lower time frames are iffy. But medium-term time frames are telling me it's more probable that we get downside. So if we do get downside, what are we looking at right now for Bitcoin? Well, for me, I mean, I'm really, as you can tell, basically, the targets that I have to the downside are essentially my take profits on the short trade that I'm in right now. Okay, so I'm basically, the areas that I'm mainly looking for longs are these take profits on the short trade. So, you know, basically taking out this low right here into the value area low of the range, which I already talked about, that $22,500 area, definitely could hold this support. But even juicier than that would just be to stop all these people out right here, okay? Because anybody who has longed throughout this entire consolidation, their stop losses, their liquidations are down below these lows. And when we see that we've been putting in higher lows each and every time, because it's a weekend and stuff like that, it would be really, really nice if when we open up tomorrow, Monday morning, we get that move down, grab all the stop losses, and then start to get our move up. That's actually the most bullish case that I would like to long here. You know, if we get that opportunity given to us, right? That's the most bullish case I could imagine right here, as far as pullback goes. This is the most bullish pullback, I suppose, in the sense that we're not going to be giving back that much. But then, of course, we have the zone of consolidation right over here that we basically, the bull flag before the breakout. And we're going back right now to like January 13th to January 20th. And the reason why I like this zone so much is because this would actually give us a very nice pullback from that high, right? This would give us a, you know, from the top, right? Let's take it from the top. Let's take it from my short entry. This would give us a 10% pullback at least coming down to this zone, which would really shake out a lot of people who have been longing the top. And we're going to be looking at the order book right now. We're actually going to be seeing what have traders been doing during this consolidation. Have they been longing? Have they been shorting? Have we seen active participants coming into the market? Because that's all going to affect our analysis. But if we do take a look at this zone right here, where I have this take profit on my short around 21.6. By the way, guys, please forgive me. I know I said I was going to stop drinking this stevia sweetened soda, but it's addicting, and I still had some in the pantry, and it's hard not. It's like, you know, I used to be a huge pothead back in the day before I gave that up, and I tried to give it up many times. And you know, you potheads out there probably know, when you say you're going to quit, you're like, yeah, but let me just finish what I got first, right? Before I quit. That never really works out so good. But that's my mentality right now with this soda, okay? I know it's not the best thing for me. All right, I know it's not the best thing for me. But I'm going to finish my stash first. Okay, so you can see this is the pre-FTX support resistance flip right here. And not only is this the pre-FTX support resistance flip, but also if we take the Fibonacci retracement tool from the low to the high, would you look at that? It's the golden pocket 786 retracement zone. And so this actually is pristine. I would like next week to potentially get that move down into this zone where maybe we could look for a juicy long trade. And of course, if we do get down there, what do we want to be seeing on the chart, right? Now, I'm still holding longs, guys. I'm actually still in right now 3 long positions on Bitcoin. I'm in 3 long positions for much lower. So I'm pretty much going to be adding to my positions, right? As we get a move down, right? So shout out to Growing Meds. I feel like Growing Meds knows what I'm talking about, right? Man, shout out to everybody in the chat, guys. Thank you all so much for being here, guys. Make sure to like the stream. Make sure to subscribe. Make sure to click that bell for notifications. Yeah, we're gonna be diving a little bit deep right now as we get into this Bitcoin price. So if we do come down here, guys, what do we want to start to see on like the 4-hour time frame? What we want to see is basically the opposite of the bearish upside down Sam Bankman-Fried man boob pattern, right? When we came up to the top, we saw his man breast getting lower for some reason. You know, SBF, he doesn't really distribute fat equally on his body. We don't really know why. It's okay. We all have different genetics. But as we get a move down here, let's say we do something like this. We want to be seeing our 4-hour time frame now doing basically the opposite of what it was doing at the top, right? At the top, we saw the momentum waves getting lower, right? When we come down to these supports, we want to see just the opposite, right? The uneven butt cheek pattern. We want to see that juicy left cheek, nice and big and juicy and round. And the gravy is just flowing out. And yes, the gravy is flowing out of the butt cheek over here. Okay, I'm going to now talk like this when I talk about the butt cheeks. Then the right butt cheek over here, very skinny is what we want to see. Just like Dolores' butt cheeks at the diner, okay? That's where the money is. We can see price coming down to key support here. That's where the good money is, in the right-hand butt cheek. So that's what really we want to be looking at, okay? If we get a move down to this zone. And again, we're not guaranteed, right? We are not guaranteed to get a move down to that zone, right? No, not at all. Not at all are we guaranteed to get a move down to that zone. But that is what we should be looking for. Okay, so let's take a look now at... Let's take a look right now at what is happening on the order book, okay? We can see, actually, a lot of longs coming in here right now. Actually, a lot of longs are entering right now. I want to go to a higher time frame so we can kind of see what has been happening throughout this entire consolidation here, okay? Now, actually, this is very interesting. First of all, we are actually printing right now a pretty bullish divergence on CVD, which very well could be leading. But we can see right now on these high-term time frames, like the 1 hour time frame. Let's even go to the 2 hour time frame. We can see something very, very interesting here. Right now, as price is actually forming this low, and by the way, this actually is key support. Now that I mention it, this actually is key support right here. We can see the price is making a higher low, and over time, this is also very interesting. Since this exact date, January 29th, okay? Shout out to Left and Flow for the super chat. God bless you, man. Since January 29th, we have seen an increase of traders actually opening into the market. Shout out to Matt Lane. I do have an MEXC referral code. It's in the description of the video. I don't think it still has 0% limit fees, but I am a fan of MEXC. I have to hit them up. I'm pretty sure I can get some more juicy discounts for you guys. But yeah, MEXC discount, affiliate link in the description. But I don't think I have any good promotion on it right now. I think it ran out. What we see here is actually over the course of the past few days here. In fact, over the course of the past week, all right, literally a week, we have seen traders entering into the market right here. We have seen, this is open interest. This is showing us, are traders entering the market or are traders leaving the market? When this is going up over time, this is showing us that new players are actually entering into the market right here, okay? They're entering into the market, they're getting involved, they're putting their money up for risk. Now, what else is very, very, very interesting about this, guys, and I'm actually just seeing this for the first time now, is the fact that the vast majority of these trades opening up in this zone right here have been short. They've been short. What this tells me is that right now there are many more shorts open in this zone than longs. And this is very interesting because when you have shorts opening in this zone, right? And a lot of them we know are open like this. Along these ways, and we know we have stop losses above these highs, above these highs, above these highs, above these highs. That means it is very possible that we are having some bigger players right now actually holding price up, right? We have some whales down here potentially holding the price up right here over the course of this range, right? This is a whale. In fact, let me draw a better whale than this, okay? A whale has the, what do they have? Those things that shoot water up, right? And they have an eye here. And they have a mouth, okay? That's a great whale, right? Potentially, we have bigger players down here actually building long positions as retail is trading short. Something else that we really need to keep our eyes on right now is the fact that the volume, right? Let's take a look at the volume here. Throughout the course of this range as well, volume is getting lower, right? We can see volume pretty much getting lower throughout this entire range in general, right? In general. Very, very interesting. Yeah, this really does mean potentially, guys, we could get a move to the upside here. We could really get a move to the upside. Be watching basically for a liquidity grab either to the upside or to the downside, right? Most of the time, Bitcoin or whatever asset we are trading is going to be trading sideways, and we're going to be looking to just grab the liquidity, right? That's why basically, you know, I'm still holding the long. I don't have MEXC open right now, so I can't show it. But I am long from around, you know, 22-ish, 0.3-ish. And the reason for that is because, you know, when we first started trading this range here, right? When we first started trading this range, we had liquidity that could be taken from these lows. We came down to grab the liquidity. And then, of course, we had liquidity that could be grabbed from these highs. We came up to grab the liquidity, and that's what gave us the short entry. And so it's very, very interesting right now to see that there's a lot of shorts that could get absolutely wrecked here. And we might see, especially when the week opens, another big squeeze to the upside. And one of the reasons why a squeeze to the upside right now is a nice, in my opinion, opportunity. Actually, let me set some alerts here before I go off into TA land, because we do need to be aware of Bitcoin price coming down to this low. And I do want to be aware, okay, I have one here as well. Yeah, we want to be aware if the Bitcoin price comes down to these lows, because remember, we want to be looking for potential bounces from these zones here. So, one of the things that really does intrigue me about getting a squeeze to the upside, seeing now that the majority of the trades that have been opening up throughout this entire range have been short trades, is when we go to a higher term time frame like the 2-day, right? And we take a look at what has been happening here, basically since May, right? Since the whole Luna debacle, right? We can see something very, very interesting here, which is this. When we look at this as a value area, right? A volume area where we can say that at least since May, this has been considered fair price for Bitcoin. A pretty big range, obviously, but between 16.8 and around 25K. That means that if we are going to now come to the top of this range, shout out to J-Boy Bullish, man, who says like, subscribe, hit the bell. My fellow tractor borrower, if we are going to come up to the top of this range, that means we would absolutely squeeze, and we would then come up into the mother of resistances right now, which is the doorway to Pump City. The doorway to Pump City is $25,000. Why? Because that is a retest of the May low, the August high, and it's perfect just trading from the low to the high to the low, and then we have like a deviation, and then we come back up to the high. And then we could get our pullback, right? Now this is just a scenario here. I'm not saying that this is going to happen, guys, but this is actually a really nice scenario now. Just looking at this, seeing that, you know, a lot of traders have been opening up short here. Of course, we have to understand something else. Just because we see this happening, and this does look actually pretty dang bullish throughout the entirety of this this range, right? This could still just be leading CVD, right? If we run out of bigger players that are willing to actually hold up price here, right? If we run out of whales here, then price will just lose these levels and we're going to come down, right? But this is just something that we do need to be aware of. We really do need to be aware of this. It's actually super interesting. I haven't actually been looking at these higher term timeframes like this. Let's take a look now actually at yeah, that could be nice, that $25,000 zone. Now if we do get another move up to that $25,000 zone here, this could be one of the most clear short signals in the world, and the reason why is because if we do happen to get another big push up and we see another trigger wave on the 4-hour, just look at what's happened. Like every single trigger wave we formed on the 4-hour time frame where the money flow and the momentum waves have been getting lower was a good short entry, right? And I shorted each one of these, and I'm short now. But I will gladly let my short get stopped out because I've already hit a TP1. I will gladly let my short get stopped out to then come up and enter again if we do something like this. Okay, now again, remember how we were talking about our uneven butt cheek pattern. This time we're going to be looking for the upside down uneven butt cheek pattern, right? Because our friend over here, she's a gymnast. Now, a lot of people look at her and they're surprised that she's a gymnast. She's a gymnast, okay? She's in really good shape. She just likes her cheat days, that's all. So you'll find her hanging upside down doing flips and stuff all the time, right? So if we do come back up to that zone, and we see continuation of this this uneven upside down butt cheek pattern, that could actually really make for a very nice short position here. Now, these markets have been a little bit unclear in this range here. The trades have been, you got to be fast in, fast out, and honestly, today I even took a long and I wasn't fast enough. You know, I could have really closed that thing in a decent profit, and I didn't. I thought we were going to come up higher there. But yeah, that is definitely one scenario. So let's now take a look at market Cipher B on the 4-hour, because something else now we need to be aware of is potentially forming some kind of a hidden bullish divergence here as well. You know, I'm not saying that this is going to happen, guys. I'm not. But we know that we're forming higher lows. If we start to see the 4-hour time frame giving us now a very deep green dot as we come back down to test this trend line that's been respected once, twice, 3 times, and we come down one more time to hit this trend line, just be aware that if we're forming a deep momentum wave on the 1-hour, and then we come to the, if we're forming a deep momentum wave on the 4-hour, that could very well be a hidden bullish divergence, especially if we start to see the 1-hour giving us regular bullish divergences, right? A hidden bullish divergence, if anybody is unaware, is basically when the price is getting higher over time and the momentum is getting lower over time. So if the 4-hour starts to bottom out, and right now this is a very deep momentum wave, it's below the -0 line, the -60 line. When the momentum is coming down to make a lower low, we could even do it from here, and the price is making a higher low, that's a continuation pattern. That's a trend continuation pattern. And it typically happens in an uptrend at the end of a period of consolidation. If we're looking to long a higher low, we would look for that higher low when we're printing a hidden bullish divergence. And they're most effective when we see a hidden bullish divergence on a high time frame such as the 4-hour, but then we see a regular bullish divergence on a lower time frame such as the 1-hour. So I would really be watching to see what happens if we do come down to put in that continued slightly higher low, and as we do, we're starting to see something like this on the 1-hour time frame, and we would also want to see that on the 24-minute time frame and the 12-minute time frame as well, to give us more confidence of getting into an entry from that level. So very, very interesting stuff here, and all this to say, guys, personally, I don't know what's going to happen, but we do have to take it like level to level, and when we come to these levels, we need to make a decision based on what we see on the chart in that moment, right? My trading is basically based on if-then scenarios, right? So one of my if-then scenarios that I pretty much just came up with right now is this. If price comes down to this trend line, connecting these lows together, and if I see the hidden divergence on the 4-hour, which absolutely we will, like at that time, and if I see regular divergences on the 1-hour time frame, right? If I see my good friend, the gymnast, on the 1-hour time frame, and the 24-minute time frame, and the 12-minute time frame, that then gives me a lot of confluence, a lot of confidence to then enter into a trade, right? So that is just something to be aware of, guys. That is really something to be aware of right now. As the Bitcoin price is currently struggling at this high volume node right here, this could be a bottom here. We might have to wait and see if we actually get a long entry as we consolidate right here, right now. Let's see what we can get, because we do have to be aware of the fact that it is a weekend, there is low volume, lots of different things could happen. But technically, a high volume node is an area to look for support. Ideally, we would want to come down lower. But what would we be looking for right now if we were going to be looking for a trade entry right here? Let's go down to the 12-minute time frame. Well, you know what, guys? We absolutely do have, undoubtedly right now, a bullish divergence on the 12-minute time frame. We can see that as the price is getting lower, the momentum waves are getting higher. We see this on the 12-minute without a shadow of a doubt. It's already confirmed. 24-minute time frame. Technically, yes, technically, yes, we also have this on the 24-minute time frame here, if we want to get technical. Technically, we have this right now on the 24-minute time frame. Technically, we have it, right? So this is actually very interesting right now. Let's zoom in now on coinalize.net and see what's happening like locally here. Going to be on the 1 minute time frame. It's not looking too great here. All right, so for me, maybe right now, because we have those divergences, because we have those divs, let's check. Let's just be looking out for something, right? Let's be looking out for coming down into this zone right here between the 786 and the 618. Our two sisters, the 786 and the 618. Fibonacci retracement levels. And if we start to see a whole bunch of shorts opening up here, and we see really shorts opening, and price is not making a lower low, that could show us, yeah, this could give us a little bit of a move up here, right? This could give us a little bit of a move up here, potentially. So we need to keep our eyes on that as well. Let's come back over here. Let's go to our 5 minute time frame. Let's see, like, what are traders actually doing right now? We had a lot of longs actually open up in this low. After getting stopped out, a lot of them opened back up again, which is very interesting. And right now, we're not doing too much of anything. But volume is nice, actually. Volume is nice for a weekend. These candles are pretty legit, like 2.5 million, give or take here. It's actually pretty legit. So again, another potential opportunity that I would see here, at least locally right now, is basically coming down into this zone right here between 22,710 and like 22,545, because this is actually now going to be the low of our range as far as it pertains to volume, right? So when we have something like this, let's zoom out so we can see it. Whenever we have something like this, this is a volume profile. This is basically telling us, based on the actual trades that have taken place in the market, where are players trading Bitcoin, and where is the fair value? What is considered a fair price for Bitcoin? Where the candles here are shaded in, this is considered fair price. So our best shorts are going to be at or above this blue line, and our best longs are going to be at or below this lower blue line here, right? And what typically happens is, if price comes down and becomes a bargain, right? Below the blue line, price is on the cheap. Above the blue line, price is at a premium. Whenever price is cheap and it comes down below the fair value area, we can expect most of the time for there to be a correction to the upside. You know, you always hear people talk about a correction. Why is it called a correction? It's because price needs to correct. It needs to come back into an area where it's considered fair value again. If it's undervalued, there needs to be a correction to the upside. If it's overvalued, there needs to be a correction to the downside. And most of the time, after we become overvalued or undervalued, the correction will bring us back down to the opposite extreme, right? It will bring us back down to the opposite extreme. People realize that the asset is overbought and too expensive, so everybody sells off. Then there's nobody to sell anymore, and people start to realize, hey, wait a second, this is a good deal. Let's start to buy. Then the smart traders long here, right? The smart traders long here, the stupid traders short here. And then all of a sudden, most traders don't realize it's time to buy until it's too late again, and we're back up to the overbought territory. So for me, honestly, as we're losing this high volume node now, my next major zone is going to be like down here at this blue line, right? Which also, guys, is the next TP of my short trade. So basically, the places I'm looking to long are also the places that I am looking to short from. I mean, places that I'm looking to take profit on the short as well, right? Basically the same exact thing, right? Basically the same exact thing. So, yeah, let me pop into the chat here. Shout out to everybody in the chat. God bless you guys. Guys, let's FOMO into the Jason Casper like button. We got about 800 people in here. Only about 300 likes. Do you know, this really does hurt my self-esteem. It reminds me of the time I have tried to ask out any girl ever because they always reject me. Shout out to everybody who's given the super chats. Shout out to Joey for the super chat. Awesome content. Thank you, man. God bless you. Thank you so much. The 706 fib is institutional. Interesting. The 706 fib. I should look into that, Timmy. I should look into the 706 fib. Shout out to Cozy Babe. Babe or Beb. I don't know. As the Bitcoin price is getting a dump to the downside, guys, we are live. And we are looking for price to come to some of our key levels here. Now, as you can see, we did just front run one of my take profits here. Almost to the dang dollar did I hit this take profit on the short here. So again, let's see if we can come down. Let's come back to our order book. Let's come back to our indicators over here and see what we can see. Okay? Let's see what we can see. Interesting. Oof. Okay, so it is interesting. We had a lot of shorts actually open up here, and now they have officially closed out. Shout out to Armis Garcia, who says USDT money flow 1012 is bullish. Okay. Yeah, I mean, there is a chance that we get a move to the upside from right here, guys. There is a chance. So the next trade I'm looking for is lower. But there's still a chance, right? The thing that is making me the most nervous is the fact that we are not above this, right? We need to come above this high volume node 22,895, and if we do, let's check out like just risk reward here. Let's say that we do bounce from the center point of the range and we come back up to the top of the range. This could be a setup here, a 3-to-1 risk reward. The reasoning for getting into a trade here would be the following. The 1 hour potentially is bottoming. The 24-minute time frame is printing bullish divergences here. BitBoy butt cheeks, which honestly is a pretty good signal of getting higher, okay? The 12-minute time frame as well is printing bullish divergences locally. And invalidation for the trade, meaning where we need to get out, is very clear. It's at this last low. So if, you know, a long here is absolutely reasonable if you're using good risk management. Because of those factors, I can actually totally get that, right? I can actually totally get that. Now, we do have resistances above us before actually we get to the high of the range, right? We have resistances above us before we get there. We have monthly open. We have local golden pockets and things of that nature. So but this is a valid idea. This is definitely a valid idea, right? Not financial advice. Nothing on here is financial advice, and I'm not a financial advisor, but we're just under the GP of the local range. Yeah, the GP was a little bit higher. The GP was around the monthly open. In fact, the golden pocket of the range is right around here. And let's check out actually where is the 786 coming in. Oh wow, so that's why we're getting a bounce here. We bounced from the 786 to the dollar. So I didn't even notice that. I should have been paying attention to that. So yeah, we did bounce from our 786 here. We also did bounce from our golden pocket here. Yeah. Cool. What are my settings for the volume profile? My settings for the volume profile are my row size is 200 and my value area is 70. My row size is 200, my value area is 70. So that... Now, other things that we have to be aware of, guys, is going to be what happens when the S&P 500 opens in about 4 hours. 4 hours and 13 minutes to be exact. Because as we can see, this is an entire year of price action for the S&P 500 right now. This is an entire year. I'm going to go to the 2-day time frame. We can see that from the all-time high that we put in on January 2022, this is all of the price action, and we are coming up also to a major zone of resistance. And so if our hypothesis, our bullish hypothesis about Bitcoin is in fact going to play out, this would be a leading indicator of what happens for Bitcoin. And what else is very, very key right now is the fact that the S&P 500 has broken out not only of this white trend line, but also of this other key orange line at 4137. This is basically this key resistance. We formed it back here on September. We tested it again in November. We've broken out and now we're retesting it as support. So if this thing opens and we start to see a big move to the upside, we could also see Bitcoin squeeze to the upside, understanding the bullish things that we've already gone over here. Okay? So really be watching out if the S&P comes up to, I would say 4250 all the way up to 4300. I know that's a big zone, but we can see that we have the Fibonacci golden pocket up here. We have a zone of weekly liquidity right here. And if this thing starts to get a move to the downside, right? Let's say that Bitcoin and all these assets really start to get a big pullback. Be watching the S&P 500 to come back down to retest around, I would say like 3970. Such a key zone of support on the S&P 500, and the reason is because we have some intersectionality right here. Okay, shout out to all my fat, white, ambiguously gendered college students majoring in trans, non-binary, cisgendered carbon emission studies. I know how much you guys love intersectionality. Well, we have some for you, and this is the kind that can make you money. Unlike that worthless degree, this stuff can actually make you money, because when you have a breakout of a trend line, and it's also a golden pocket, and it's also a weekly zone of liquidity, and it's also a high volume node of a year-long range, man, that could make for a juicy potential bounce. And if we see a move down on the S&P 500 for a bounce, then that should really be piquing our Bitcoin senses as well. And the reason why is because if this was a significant top on Bitcoin, right? Let's remove all these, let's remove all this stuff here. Let's remove it all. Remove the drawings. If this was a significant high on Bitcoin, then we have what I like to call congruent confluences. Congruent confluences. Parallel confluences. Right? Because Bitcoin as well has a really nice support resistance retest right around a very similar area. Okay? When we take a look at all the volume that traded back here from June till November, and when we take a look at the Fibonacci golden pocket pull from the low to the high, we can see something else that's very interesting. We have a pretty significant pullback coming down to a key support resistance flip at around $18.6 to $19,000. For me, this is swing long zone for Bitcoin because I still do remain bullish. As the video I posted this morning, I remain bullish, and the reason why I remain bullish on higher term time frames is simply because market structure is king, guys. That's as simple as that. Low, high, higher low, higher high. We would expect a higher low, right? The trend is your friend. We have not seen this since November 2021. Because this is the first time we've actually seen confirmation of an uptrend on the higher term time frames, we should be more biased toward looking to long a higher low than ever before since the bull run, right? It doesn't mean we're going to get a bounce, but when it comes to trading, we have to have some kind of bias, and we have to have some kind of reasoning as to why we have a specific bias in one direction, right? So if we had not ever changed market structure here and put in higher highs on the weekly time frame, of course, you're not looking for a swing long at a higher low, right? You're looking for a lower low. But because we've officially changed market structure here, that to me says, you know what? If we do get a pullback on the S&P 500 down to the key intersectionality level, where our friend gets super excited, and we also on Bitcoin see a pullback to also a very nice intersectionality level, and if we just take a trend line like this, I mean, would you look at that, right? It's not perfect, but it's similar. Right? We also have some nice intersectionality, and depending on how fast we come down here, right? Like if we get a massive dump, let's say in Monday and Tuesday, boom. I mean, it just works out so nice, right? It works out so nice. So yeah, that is definitely something to also be aware of for a more bearish scenario, but on the higher term time frame, it's still a bullish scenario, not necessarily a bearish scenario either, right? So those are some pretty key zones. And also, guys, the dollar, right? Look at this dollar. Whew, man. Going straight to Pump City right now on the dollar. And it's like, if this thing keeps pumping, we need to be looking and being very careful with our longs. If this thing keeps pumping. Now, right now, it's not moving. It will open again tonight, I think, at 6 p.m. my time. Well, I'm in New York time, so that's in about 4 hours. So key zones to be aware of on the dollar right now are going to be, first of all, yeah, let's mark them all out. Let's mark them all out. These are zones to be looking for a rejection on the dollar. This right here, 103.482, is a very, very key zone right now, I would say, of liquidity on the dollar, where we could basically get a pretty big pullback. I don't know if anybody was watching the price action on Friday with the dollar. But what happened on Friday? Let's see. This was Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Man, it's so crazy now in hindsight. You can't even see what happened here. But as we were marking out what you want to do when you're looking for places where price could reject, you want to mark out zones of liquidity, right? You want to mark out zones of liquidity where previous highs can be just taken out, basically stop hunted, and then price drops. So if you were watching the live stream I did on Friday, I was live on Crypto Faces channel. We were watching this key high for the dollar at 102.592. And when the dollar came up to 102.592, if we go to the 1 hour time frame and see what happened there, we can see that the dollar, it came up right to this level and immediately got a little bit of a pullback. When the dollar did this, it made Bitcoin get a pretty significant bounce. Right? Just a little pullback on the dollar like that, Bitcoin was getting a pretty significant bounce. So be watching out for levels like this. The next one we have right now is going to be, in my opinion, well, this one up here, right? This one up here at like 103. And then right above that, we also have the golden pocket. So these are areas I'd be looking at the dollar to potentially find resistance. So if we're watching the dollar pump, and we're watching the S&P 500 dump, and we're watching Bitcoin dump, when all three of these assets find support or resistance at the same time, when the dollar finds resistance and the S&P 500 finds support, if Bitcoin is also at a key zone of support, let's say, for example, could make for a very, very nice, high confluence long entry, right? Because a lot of times we'll see that S&P 500 is a leading indicator for what Bitcoin does, and the dollar is always inversely correlated, right? That's why when the news came out last Wednesday, the FOMC interest rate hike 25 basis points, We saw the dollar pump immediately. We saw we saw the dollar dump immediately. We saw Bitcoin pump immediately. Because technically 25 basis points is bad for the dollar. It's all a whole bunch of nonsense anyway, to be honest with you. Okay, so let's check out what's happening here. Let's check out what's happening here. So again, what we would really want to see, if we are going to get a bounce from here, what I would really want to see is I would want us to come down into the white box with some kind of clear absorption of shorts. I would want to see short trades coming in, and I want to see price not able to make a lower low here. Okay? And again, because we're at the center point of a range, this is not the ideal place to be looking for a trade, but the idea itself is valid in the sense of what the things we just went over. We do see some things on the chart, and this is a valid setup with a good risk-reward ratio. So if we're only taking setups like this and we're using good risk management, over time, we're definitely not going to blow our account. But we're also very aware of the fact that this is not the best place to take a trade, because just below us, we have more important zones of support, right? Below us, we have more important zones of support. And if we're not going to be holding above 22,895, which is that high volume node of the range, it's more probable than not that we make our way down to the low of the range. But anything's possible, which is why we're keeping our eye on the order book. What is actually going to be happening here in real time? Are we going to see a whole bunch of people FOMOing short, getting stuck down in this box? Because if they are, that can actually give us the trigger to get into a position, right? Now, anything's possible. Price can go up, price can go down, price can go sideways. What matters is that we know what things do we have to see on the chart to get us to pull the trigger. Okay, so we are coming down right now into this box, and honestly, I don't see what I would really want to see here. I don't see a lot of shorts opening up right now. I'm not saying we can't bounce, but I personally just don't see a lot of shorts opening up here at all. If anything, I see longs open that are actually currently under the volta. Right? There are longs open right now that are defending their position. They're basically at break even right now. They are under the water right here. So, yeah, and actually, now that you mention it, is that slight? Nah, I don't know. We're dancing on the line of potentially longs being absorbed there. Shout out to everybody in chat, guys. Make sure to like the stream. Make sure to FOMO into the like button. We have about 1,000 people in here. Only 500 likes. Man, that hurts my self-esteem, just like the time I got rejected by 6Juanita. If anybody doesn't know who 6Juanita is, guys, she is the 618 Fibonacci level. And the Bitcoin price is your boy, Jay Casper. And, wow. My wife just texted me something very interesting. Uh-oh. Banks are being, looks like a lot of banks are being attacked by scammers right now. By the way, guys, please be aware for scammers. If anybody named Jason Casper or Jay Casper hits you up and says that I'll trade for you if you give me a cut of the profits, guys, I barely even have enough time to trade for myself, let alone trade for you, no offense. But if anybody ever says that they will do that for you, it's 100% a scam. 100%. If anybody ever asks you to open up a wallet, 100% a scam. Every single time. It's a scam. I promise you. I promise you. And if you're ever unsure, hit me up. Hit up one of the mods, you know, in the Discord. But I promise you, I don't have a Telegram group. I don't have a secret this or secret that. The only secret thing I have, guys, is the Casper Crew VIP Discord, where every single day we post the trade setups that we are looking for. We post the levels that we are looking to trade. Every single day. In fact, starting this week, guys, we're going to be doing 3 live streams a day. A live stream for New York Open, where we go over what has happened in the past few hours. We're going to be going over our exact trading plans. Eventually, we are going to be doing as well live trading down the road. And yeah, 3 live streams a day. Multiple TA updates a day. That's the only secret there is, and it's not a secret, right? It's available for everybody. Patreon.com/Jason Casper. And there's no secret course, guys. The only course is JasonCasperTrading.com. 20% discount, by the way, at JasonCasperTrading.com. Check it out. 20% discount in the description, guys, if you're interested. Okay, so let's see what's happening here. Yeah, okay, so now officially I would say that this is not something I would look to long here, guys. Not saying we can't come up from here, but for me, this is not something I would look to long. I would wait for lower, and if I miss the pump, then that's okay. I'm long from lower. I'm actually still long from lower here. So I'm actually in 3 long trades from lower, so it's all good in the hood. And I'm hoping we dump, guys. You know, I'm hoping we dump because I would like to take some more profits out on the short. And we are getting close. We are getting close. Alright, so let's see what happens here, guys. We might actually, based on this 1 hour curving up, man, I would really enjoy one more drastic wick to the downside here. Drastic wick. One more insane wick to the downside just to potentially stop out all these people who are already underwater in their long trades here. And then we could maybe bounce from one of these zones of support here. Most juicily, basically just, you know, around the 22.5 zone. Around the 22.5 zone. Let's see what can happen here. Let's see what can happen here. I think we could do it, guys. I think we could do it. I actually, even though this looks bearish, at the very least, I kind of like the 12-minute here, giving us a slight uneven butt cheek pattern. And speaking of that, guys, you know, speaking of the uneven butt cheek pattern, I do, as always, as Jason Casper always has to do when he's streaming, I have to pee. So please, watch the chart for me, make sure I don't get liquidated, and I will be right back, guys. You know, it's real painful, you know. Alright, guys, we're back. We're back in action. Oh, man. Whew, I feel like a new man on that one. So we did come down into our box, as you can see. That's why we're getting the bounce here. Because the levels are respected, guys, no matter what. The levels are absolutely respected. And this is how we're going to... This is how, like, all trade... Well, for me, right? This is how all trades are planned and executed. So if I was, for example, looking to long this box, this gives us our setup where we know our stop loss has to go below the last swing low. And it gives us a very, very good risk to reward ratio, meaning we only have to risk, let's say we're putting our whole account on the trade, we only have to risk 1/3% on this trade right now. 1/3%, okay? Actually, that's not even a bad trade setup. 1/3%. And let's say that we're only shooting for, like, the retest of this support resistance flip right here, right? I mean, we have clear support flipped into resistance. That's still 2.3% more reward than risk, right? So we're potentially risking 1/3 of our account to gain 2/3%. And if the price comes up higher from here, well, let's say we come back up to these highs. Now we're risking 1/3% to make 1.5% on our whole account. This is, objectively speaking, a good risk reward ratio. This is how we should be planning our trades, because for example, let's say that the next resistance is like literally right here. Let's say we just lost support, which we kind of did, right? We just lost support. Basically this high volume node. You know, then you got to be real careful taking trades like that. But this is why we pull our fibs. This is why we have these types of boxes pulled in advance, because it gives us market structure. It gives us places to look for entries and stuff like that. All right, so coming back to the chart right now, let's see what is happening live in the order book. It is a Sunday, guys, so volume is a little bit less. Price is a little bit more sluggish right here. And we can see something very interesting, which is this. Yeah, interesting. We saw some longs being absorbed. I don't see anything too crazy. Nothing too crazy that says take a trade right here. I'd rather wait until either we reclaim this high volume node and then look for a long entry maybe, or wait until we come lower. And right now the lower really tickles my fancy. Tickles it, guys. Man, 1,000 people watching. Awesome. 613 likes. Man, that is a pretty holy number if you ask me. 613. Should we sing the pump song? All right. Shout out to Star X Crypto TV, who's waiting for the Val, thinking for a long. Yeah, me too. I'm waiting for Val, also thinking for a long there as well. Basically taking out at least the low of 22,700, hoping to come down to like a 22,550 zone. Yeah, and here's what I like about that as well right now. Shout out to everybody who liked the video. God bless you guys. The reason why I also like that 22,550-ish zone is because the 12-minute right now is actually pretty dang prime for a nice second drive of divergence here, right? Although money flow is getting low, I would treat it also like a scalp trade, like quick in, quick out, scalperoni and cheese, and maybe hold a portion of the position up for a little bit higher, right? Up for a little bit higher. All right, so yeah, let's see what happens here, guys, as we enter into a week. Again, this is the first weekend that we have seen where the Bitcoin price has not rallied in 3 weeks. So for the past 3 weeks here, look at this, right? Oh wait, hang on. Wrong chart. For the past 3 weeks, every single weekend, we've been getting a rally. Let's zoom in here and take a look at that. Weekend pump. Weekend pump, weekend pump. Then, all of a sudden, this weekend, no pump. So, clearly, the tides have turned a little bit here. And we do know what zones we're looking for. I mean, really, the supports are pretty obvious. At least for me. The supports are pretty obvious. Major support number one is definitely going to be 21.6-ish. These highs, the pre-FTX dump. Also, I am being aware, as we already went over, of the potential absorption happening right here. In fact, let's take a look as we are watching this price action unravel right now on coinanalyze.net. Let's go back to the 1 hour time frame. I mean, yeah, clearly shorts are opening up. A lot of people are starting to short this. I cannot help but think that we could be setting ourselves up for a crazy short squeeze. Is there any level here? 22,500. Is there anything that we have at 22,500? Like, not really, right? The only thing we have at 22,500 is basically... Well, actually, 22,500, that's the... Wait, what am I talking about? That's literally the level I'm looking to long right now. Yeah, okay, so, yeah, let's be aware, guys. 22,500 right now could actually be a pretty juicy potential. Sorry, guys. I got a touch of the Wuhan wiggle up in here, you know what I'm saying? I got a touch of the Wuhan wiggle up in here. So yeah, that could be a nice zone, guys. That could be a nice zone. 22.5 could be a nice zone here. Spider line at 22,400. That's nice. What happens when the dollar opens? It continue ripping up. Yeah. So if we continue ripping up on the dollar, we need to be prepared for more downside on Bitcoin and other risk assets like the S&P 500. But we're gonna be watching them. We're gonna be watching the dollar. We're gonna be watching the S&P 500, right? If the dollar rips and S&P dumps, we're looking down to this zone of intersectionality right here. And, you know, there's a few, I would say there's a few zones. First of all, that trend line is very juicy. We also could there's a lot of potential intermediate supports that we could find on the S&P. But for me, the juiciest is definitely going to be that white trend line, because that is going to be the high from January 2022. It would give us a pullback, shake out the weak hands. That is a nice, 5% pullback on the S&P. That's very, very significant. And then for Bitcoin, right, giving us our pullback that we're looking for down to potentially getting a 10% pullback or so down to the 21.5 zone, or even juicier, the 18.6 zone. So yeah, we definitely need to be watching the dollar and the SPX as we start to, the market starts to open. Now that's going to happen in 4 hours, guys. In 4 hours. So please be a watching. Please be a watching. And let's see if we can get one more move down here on our Bitcoin price. So Chris Treat has been shorting-ish out of that damn Bitcoin. All right, nice. Could be a good second round for the big whales if we get a big pullback. I agree with that, actually. If we get a nice pullback, that could be a nice for the whales. One more thing to keep in mind that I'm also keeping in mind is the fact that, let's say that we do bounce from the low of this range here, around this level here. Around 22.5. Please be aware, if we do bounce from 22.5, now major resistance is going to be the golden pocket, and the golden pocket is, it's just a key support resistance flip zone, right? So if we do start to now bounce from 22.5, we do need to be aware of a potential now lower high being put in like this, right? And this would be a very nice Bart Simpson pattern, right? That would be a very nice Bart Simpson pattern. So if we do start to bounce from this level, I will actually be looking to compound this short in this golden pocket zone, and that's going to be around 23.7. And 23.7 is also just a very important support resistance flip in general, because we have a lot of confluence there. Not only is it a golden pocket, we have some naked points of control there. And if we go to the daily time frame, we can also see that we have these 2 daily candles that closed right up here, 4 of them. So for like 4 days, this green line right at 22,700 has been a key zone of daily resistance. And so we really do need to be aware. Even if we get a bounce, it might not lead to a higher high like I've been kind of hoping for. It might just lead to a lower high, which would be a nice Bar-Simpson pattern, right? That would be a very nice Bar-Simpson pattern here. And then my target, my final target for that, well, one of my first targets would be right down here, around 21.7, where I've got my short TP set there. So let's see what happens. Let's see what's happening with Bitcoin. We are getting a little bit of a move to the upside, and we are coming up right now to retest once again that high volume node, which is so dang important. That high volume node is so dang important right there. All right, so we're coming back for a retest of this high volume node, a back test, if you will. We got a bounce from the Fibonacci golden pocket, which is why we're getting this move to the upside. Right? Fib golden pocket, move to the upside. Look at that, bounce right from the Fibonacci golden pocket, making a higher low. Again, if we can reclaim this level, more upside is definitely possible. For me personally, like, you know, and as far as my paper trading goes, because I would never trade real money, right? The purpose of life is to avoid all risks at all costs, which is why, is there a chance you might get sick and die? Well, make sure to close your business, stay home, and if you have to leave your house, cover your face, your ears, your eyes, your nose, your mouth, your butthole. I never even take a dump without wearing 17 anal masks, because you never know what kind of strange pathogens might get in. But honestly, guys, the reason you wear a mask when you take a dump, it's not to protect you, it's to protect your grandmother. Because if she smells what's coming out of that, trust me, she's not going to make it. Okay? So you don't do it for you, you do it for others. You know what I'm saying? Alright, so we're coming up to retest this high volume node here. Again, if we do get a pump and go straight to Pump City from here, I'm fine with missing it. I'm in 3 long trades. I'm already long in 3 different positions. This is 1. So I'm fine with missing it. I would rather wait for a higher probability setup here. And yeah, so let's see. We're coming up to here. It looks like we're finding some resistance right at the level, guys. Look at how the levels are respected, right? I mean, the Fibonacci golden pocket, literally respected. High volume node, literally also respected. Even if we get more upside here, let's check out our order flow. What is happening here? We do have some longs actually opening up right now. We've got longs opening. And these longs that opened over here are actually in profit now. So I would say that the buyers right now are in control, because we don't really see any absorption here. And we don't see too many shorts coming in, but we do see longs coming in. That doesn't really mean anything to me, though, as far as giving me an entry. But the one thing that we do have in our favor, guys, that's a pretty powerful signal right here, is the 12-minute bullish divergence, and more so the 24-minute bullish divergence. I would say, actually, this signal right here has a very high win rate. So for this reason, yeah, I would say more upside is definitely possible right now. More upside is definitely possible right now. But for me, I want one of 2 things to happen. I either want to see some kind of absorption of shorts down here, seeing short traders getting trapped, or I would want to wait for like a local change, like our low, our high, our higher low, our higher high. And if we start to change market structure locally here with that bullish divergence, then I will be pulling my fib again and looking for a long. And honestly, let's say we come up and reject from VWAP here. This to me gives us a nice long entry. And the reason why is because we already are forming our bullish divergences on the 24-minute time frame. Do we have a spider line at 23,250? Shout out to the super chat. CryptoFace says yes. CryptoFace said yes. I actually don't use spider line, so I don't know. But CryptoFace said yes. Somebody in the chat might be able to answer. Shout out to Brock Landers. Can I check the bearish targets on Sol? Sure. Absolutely, I can. Thank you so much, Brock, for the super chat. Yeah, if we do something like this, we reject from VWAP, we reject from monthly open, then look at this. The golden pocket will line up 100% with that high volume node, and we can get in on a retest, and this time we're longing support instead of longing into the resistance. And honestly, for me, I would this would give me a very clear trade setup, because now I know basically if we come below the 786, my idea is wrong, and we're not going to be bouncing from that zone. And then we could just shoot for, once again, like the local high of the range, which is almost a 4-to-1 risk reward. And then we could even shoot for potentially higher after a partial TP. That to me is actually, that would be a good long setup. Or if we come down lower. Okay, so let's check out Sol right now. Check out Sol right now. Hopping aboard the Sol train. Hop aboard the Sol train. Bearish targets for Sol? Yeah, let's check it out. Let's check it out. Now, guys, you know, I'm irresponsibly bullish on crypto in general right now. So I am looking for bearish targets as long entries, right? Just so everyone knows, if you saw my video this morning about why I'm bullish in general, and why I think that the bottom is in, at least in a sense of building a portfolio. Not talking about margin leverage, not talking about leverage trading bottoms here, guys. But I am talking about building a portfolio bottoms, right? Right? I'm not talking about immediate short-term bottoms. I'm talking about more long-term bottoms here. Yeah, so let's check out Solana. Sol I really like because we have literally back tested perfectly this support resistance flip, like to the dang dollar. So we're at resistance. It's pretty much the same as Bitcoin in a lot of ways. And what I really like about Sol, and I'm sure whoever sent me the super chat has already been looking at this, but look at how juicy and beautiful this is right here. Wow. That is juicy and beautiful. The fact that we have a high volume node coming in right at the golden pocket is very, very nice. That could give us a very nice retest, right? That to me is a long entry on. So let's check out this. Yeah, very juicy. So there's two places I would look at right now. Let's see. Yeah. Right now, this is looking very, very nice as a bullish retest of Solana. Let's see what we got going on here. Oh yeah, yeah, that is looking very good to me, and I will eat the bugs, I will own nothing, and I will be very happy. That looks very good to me. If we just decrease the population maybe by, I don't know, 3-4 billion, then I think, you know, maybe we could. We have the old value area high of the range. Look at this. We have no volume here, right? No volume here. It was a very fast move down, just like the time you were partying with your friends in college. You went to White Castle at 3 in the morning and you had 16 cheeseburgers. Smooth going down, right? But the next morning when it came out, even smoother, and you didn't even have to try. You didn't have to chew or swallow on the way out, right? So we had a smooth move down, we had a smooth move out, no volume here, so we could get another smooth move down. And if we do, the target of this bearish rising wedge pattern is right at the 0.5 Fibonacci retracement, confluence with the value area high of this old range, confluence with the high volume node that's coming in right around $16.46. So this would be my bearish target numero uno on Sol. I like this. It's just nice price action. It's very simple. Lots of confluences. Basically, we'd be looking at this. It might be hard to see, so let me zoom in for you. Okay, so Bitcoin is crossing some of our targets here, getting a little bit lower, but we're still at 22,820 on the Bitcoin chart, so nothing too extreme on Bitcoin. Let's quickly just check out what's happening. Nothing too extreme here at all. Okay. Yeah, so this is smooth price action, guys. This is actually real smooth PA. Whoa. Hang on. What we want to be looking at is this right here. Okay, the retest of the highs that we put in back here, this wick on Monday, November 14th at $16.30. We have a very high volume node right here at 1630. All right, that's this green box here. And the whole idea is that we are not going to get acceptance back inside the old range, right? The idea is that this is a bullish move. We are not going to fall back down into the old volume area, right? This is the old fair value price for Sol. The idea for this trade setup is that the market is not going to want to trade Sol at a lower price. It's going to want to establish a new fair value at higher prices. That's the hypothesis behind this trade entry, right? Every trade entry you think of, you have to have an idea for it, right? You have to have a hypothesis as to why you are looking for that potential trade setup. Okay, so Bitcoin is getting a little bit of a move to the downside here, and we've just put in now another double bottom. Literally a double bottom. Nope, we actually took the low. So this CDW right here, CDW, chickens drink water right here, and that actually does look pretty bullish, to be honest with you. That does look a little bit bullish there. So what happened here was just a liquidity grab of the low. We just came down to the low, grabbed the liquidity, got a big move to the upside, and we did so now with bullish divergences on the 1 minute time frame, the 6 minute time frame as well, with money flow getting higher, potentially the 12 minute time frame as well. And we know that our 24-minute also is currently printing the divergence. And look at that. We are coming up to our high volume node right here. Let's see if we come above. Look at that. To the dollar rejection again. Now, if anybody did happen to grab this scalp, that is definitely a good place to TP1 on it. Because this is local resistance. If we can come above this local resistance, we can see a bigger move to the upside right now. Let's check out what happened now on this, on the order flow. Let's go down. Okay, so interestingly enough, we actually didn't see longs get wrecked on this move down. We did not see longs get wrecked on this move down. Actually, we saw longs longing this, and we saw shorts taking profit. So a lot of shorts closing out. We didn't see any liquidations. So, yeah, I would definitely treat this as a scalp trade. But, wow, we've got a lot of longs opening up right now in here. What we didn't see was, we didn't see any trades get liquidated. Interesting. I would have thought longs would have gotten wrecked here, but no. No longs were wrecked in the drop there. So, Sol, right? Yeah, this would be every hypothesis, every trade setup that we plan for. We need to have a reason. Why are we looking to long? Why are we looking to short? And you know, we need to know what would we be looking for on the chart if we wanted to take a long from here. That's something we have to predetermine. We have to know how much are we going to be risking on the trade. We have to know that in advance as well, because all those things are definitely going to save our butts, like absolutely going to save our booties. Because if we don't have a plan to get in, to get out, then yeah, we can get absolutely wrecked. So the next zone I'd be interested in for Sol would be the $14.83 down to $13 zone, because we have the golden pocket, we have the high volume node of the old range, and we just have this very, very clear support resistance flip that goes all the way back here to basically November 2022, right? November 2022. So, hey, I wonder if I hit my take profit on that that short trade. Dang it! No. Take profit not hit, guys. TP not hit on this one, huh? Dang, man. All right, let's come back down for the TP. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Let's see if we can do that. All right, let's go back to the drawing board here. We're going to go back to the drawing board, guys. We're coming back to Coinalyze. We're going back to the 1 minute. Let's see if there is an opportunity to long here, because there might still be, right? There's always opportunity. Pulling our fib. We're putting our box on. What do we want to see here? We want to see traders getting bearish. We want to see FOMO shorts coming down into our box. We want to see this getting lower. As this gets higher into our box, this gives us a potential entry here. Right? Now again, this also was a potential entry right here, simply because we came down below, took the liquidity with bullish divergences for a chicken's drinking water. That also is a valid setup there. The only thing we have to be aware of is the fact that we do have our high volume node right here. So this is local resistance. If we come above local resistance, that is a bullish. Oh, wait a second, but I want to keep my box on the chart. That's our box. Our support, this is our line of resistance. Longs entering here, man. We got longs coming in. I mean, not too many, but about 500,000 longs coming in here. We do have the bull divs on market Cipher as we just took out that low. So for me, that's an acceptable long. But when I say acceptable, I just mean I understand why that trade would be taken here. Check market Cipher. Yeah, so market Cipher does have bullish divergences right now on the 24-minute time frame. BitBoy butt cheeks. This looks very bottomy here. You know, and for me, yeah, this looks very, very bottomy. At least locally. On the higher term time frames, bearish. The midterm time frames a little bit bullish. I would enjoy just a lower move to the downside here. Or again, if we can change market structure locally. I mean, basically, I'm in the same boat as I was before, right? If we can put in a higher high locally, then I would look for a retest. But if we can't come above this level here, unless you're scalping and this is your first TP here, this is not the best risk-reward setup, but nonetheless, I can see why. I can understand the case for a long from here. Right? I'm hoping I can come down and hit some short TPs here. Let's see if I can. Are we long or short? Randy, we're primarily short. I guess I'm looking for a long trade right now. I'm looking to get into a long. ETH is at a local golden pocket. All right, this could be a good long, I guess. Then, if anyone's taking it. It's a local CDW. Shorts are getting stopped out right now, and we do have longs entering in. This music gets my jives going, man. It's pretty groovy, if I do say so myself. If you guys like the music, let me know in the chat, guys. Make sure to like the stream. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. We got about 1,000 people in here, only 700 likes. Let's get the likes up to the watchers, guys. If we can get 1,000 likes, man. Yeah, we have a tight Bitboy bottom. Like I said, I understand the reasoning for a long here, and yeah, I mean it's a very clear invalidation from this point. We only need a 0.6% stop for the invalidation of this, and I would shoot for you know, VWAP after this support resistance flip. VWAP's a good place. Let's see if we have anything before that. Yeesh. Yeah, we got some local fibs. So ETH just hit a local fib. Dread Mining has let me know in the chat, so that's nice. That is nice. If ETH is going to pump, Bitcoin's going to pump as well. That's just how it goes. Shout out to everybody for the likes. Shout out to everybody who's long. Can I check KDA? I don't really know anything about KDA, so I'm sorry, I can't really check it. I was about to take one. I just want to see price come down like you. Yeah, I would love to see price come a little bit lower here. I mean, I don't feel the FOMO. I'm in multiple longs already, so I'm not really feeling the FOMO to get in here on a weekend. I would rather wait for something a little bit juicier. But nonetheless, we know the case. You know, if anybody's long here, I totally get it. It's objectively speaking, it's a good setup because you know exactly where your stop loss needs to be. You know where your take profits should be as well. So, you know, right now, this is the 12-minute time frame. The VWAP looks very nice for another TP. Let's see if we can get up there. Wow. We just got a big short entering in right here. Not really. Not really. It looks big. It's not really big. All right, hang on. It's only $66,000. That's really not a big short at all. Okay, let's zoom out here. It looks big, right? Okay, yeah, it's not that big. But nonetheless, we actually do see some people shorting here. So, this is starting to pique my interest now. Now that people are shorting here, Now we can just keep our eyes open. Wow, 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 wow. Daniel Schlong, that's the way to go. The short was Sato. Okay, that's good to know. That's good to know. Is Sato live right now? Shout out to Tino from Traders Reality. 22.5 is where you're looking to catch the long. Yeah, me too. So maybe it's too obvious of a level, right? But yeah, maybe it's too obvious of a level. But we are above now, high volume node, after taking the lows now for the first, second, third time of the day. So yeah, and 12-minute VWAP looking kind of good here with the bull div. So yeah, this could actually be a move up. This could be a move up right here. Look at this. I mean, 24-minute BitBoy butt cheeks. You know, that's definitely a sign that this could honestly be a significant bottom here. Now that we're above POC, this could be significant bottom. Let's see if we can get some kind of entry here. You know, if we can get an entry here, if I can get an entry here, I would take it. But right now, I do not have a clear entry, at least for my trading style. I do not have a clear entry for my trading style. I either want to see pullback. I've already gone through what I would like to see here. Shout out to Lane Hughes. Who's laughing because I saw the big short and then said, nah, not really. Yeah, I know. Shout out to Joel Tan, took an 88 long. That's the bottom of a parallel channel. Omar says 2% move up. All right, let's pump it, baby. Let's pump it. Let's see what happens here. All right, you heard it, guys. Cyberpunk Bunny says, take your entry quickly because he's about to pump Bitcoin. Shout out to Dr. Blocks, man. Thank you for the kind words, bro. Shout out to Type Crow, who says, pair character doing a Shaka sign with his hand saying, cool. Nice, nice. Appreciate it. What's my prediction on Bitcoin, Hippie U? Well, my prediction on Bitcoin. My long-term or my short-term prediction? My short-term prediction is pull back and then pump. And my long-term prediction is I think it's a good time to start building a portfolio of Bitcoin and altcoins for the next bull market. That's my opinion. That's really my opinion here. In the very short term, I am looking for a move up. I currently did not long this, but I understand why somebody would long this, because we have 24-minute bullish divergences. We just grabbed the liquidity with a move to the upside, clear stop loss, clear take profits. Yeah, but I'm not a predictor. I'm more of a let me find an entry, right? Anything can happen. We have to be watching the charts in real time, and we have to take the entries as they come. That's what we have to do. I'm not a predictive trader. I don't say I think we're going up, so I'm going to long. I like wait for an entry. Yeah, shout out to Type Crow. Next pullback DCA is his wave. Yeah, I mean, really, guys, you know, I totally agree with that. Like, the next time, if Bitcoin starts to get a major pullback, I'm going to be DC. I still have a lot of dry powder. I do have more Bitcoin on spot right now than I've ever had in my life. When we went under 20K, I was irresponsibly buying Bitcoin. People think I'm done for it. People still do. I'll bet you a lot of you do too. That's fine. You know, it's worked out for me for the past 2 bull cycles, so I'm going for the 3rd. All right, my life has been changed because of crypto, because of Bitcoin. That's how I was able to buy my homestead. That's how I was able to live on some acres and raise my animals and grow my food. And, you know, of course, the Lord had mercy and favor on me in that. But then the second bull run that I was through, the first one 2017, the second one 2021, I bought Bitcoin on the cheap after it dumped, and it wasn't even really too planned out. I just bought every month as it was dumping and held on and sold as it was pumping. And I plan to do the same exact thing now. So long term, I think there's some good indications, guys, that a macro bottom is in. You know, let's just take a look at some things, right? Like the monthly, for example. Look at this, right? For example, the monthly. Past 3 cycles. Now, I know all the arguments as to why this time's different. The world's falling apart. There's a war. There's a famine. There's a recession. I know all the arguments, right? I know. But the past 3 cycles, look at where Bitcoin has bottomed out. In between the 786 and the 886 fib. So what that tells me is, once we lost 20K and we came down to the 786 fib, that's the time to start really aggressively buying, right? And also, look at this, market Cipher B on the monthly. Every single time we come down between the 786 and the 886 fib, we print the bottom below the 0 line on market Cipher B. Last cycle, what happened? Hidden bullish divergence. Continuation pattern. Momentum gets lower, price gets higher. What's happening right now? We actually literally just confirmed. We just confirmed a hidden bullish divergence on the monthly. On the weekly, what do we have? Regular bullish divergence on the weekly, right? I'm not saying the bottom's in and we're going straight to 100K, because if you go back and look at all these market cycles from the bottom signal, we always put in a double bottom, right? We put in the bottom, we put in a double bottom, bull market. Bottom, double bottom, bull market. So I'm not saying that the bottom is in here. What I am saying is that for me, this is time to start taking my HODL portfolio pretty dang seriously, right? Because, look, all investments are risky, but, you know, most people buy after it's too late. And, you know, we can only go based on historical data here. If crypto has a future, which I believe it does, if crypto has a future, that's the whole premise, right? Like, every trade, every investment needs a hypothesis as to why we're getting into the trade or whatever. If crypto has a future, and if the 4-year cycle is going to repeat, then this is the place to really look, right? And there's other indicators too, like the stochastic RSI. Stochastic RSI, historically, every single time it comes down below the 20 line, and then both cross back up above the 20 line, that's actually happening after the bottom is already put in, right? That happens after the bottom is put in. We can see maybe within, like, this is the monthly time frame, so within a month or two, it looks like we're going to be getting that again on the stochastic RSI. But either way, the blue line is already above the 20, right? So it's like things are getting close, right? Things are smelling pretty bottomy. And I have a hypothesis as well. You know, when we talk about recessions, let's talk about the 2008 recession, right? 2008 recession. Was anybody prepared for it? Was the media telling us, watch out guys, there's a big recession coming, you need to be prepared? No. They didn't talk about it. People knew it was coming, obviously. People who were paying attention knew it was coming. But the media didn't say a word about it, and they let all the common people get wrecked in the process. Well, now the media is telling us, watch out, here comes a recession, things are looking bad. To me, that tells me the opposite's going to happen, guys. They're going to pump their dang bags. They're going to pump their dang bags. The elite are going to pump their bags. They're going to milk this fractional reserve fiat Ponzi scheme for everything they can milk before they bring in the new financial system, right? So, you know, they just wrecked everybody. Everybody's already wrecked right now, right? Everyone's 401k is wrecked. Everyone's investment is wrecked. Everyone's wrecked. The only people that have money to actually buy assets right now are the elite. They've been buying the heck out of everything, and now they're going to pump their bags unexpectedly. I guarantee. That's I can't say I guarantee. That's my hypothesis. They're going to pump their bags, right? Recession coming, all this and that. They're going to pump their bags. Look, everything's fake. Everything's fake. In real life, it's different than on paper, right? In real life, inflation is a thing. Prices go up, and it takes more money to buy the same thing. That's real. In fake life, you can just manipulate the CPI data and change inflation, right? You can manipulate inflation on paper. Think about what happened 2 years ago at the start of 2020, right? I am playing Chill Music Lab. Think what happened at the beginning of 2020, right? The economy shut down, right? The economy shut down completely. Yet on paper, the economy pumped, right? The economy shut down completely, yet on paper, the economy pumped. Let's take a look. This right here is when the whole world's economy shut down, except China. The United States shut down, literally shut down. So look at this. Why did the stock market pump? Economy shuts down, stock market pumps 100%. It's all fake, it's all manipulated, right? It's all fake, it's all manipulated. They can do anything they want. Money's not real, it's fake. And I'm talking about on paper, right? We have to be looking at the paper economy, not the real economy. In real life economy, heck yeah, recession's coming. Heck yeah, you're not going to be able to buy stuff with your worthless fiat. But in the fake economy, you're going to be able to get a lot of fiat for holding on to these non-fiat risk assets like Bitcoin, right? And they are going to just, this month, they're changing the way they calculate inflation. They used to calculate inflation based on the previous 2 years. Now they're going to be calculating it based on only the last 1 year. Which technically means we could see inflation go way down on paper. And if paper inflation goes down, we could see the value of the dollar go way down. Right? We can see the value of the dollar go way down on paper. And the value of the dollar goes down on paper. That means when we're comparing the value of the dollar to other risk assets, those risk assets are going to be worth more dollars. Right? So, alright, I know we have some super chats. Shout out to the super chatters in here. Thank you guys so much for your super chats. So, is there an indicator to find naked point of controls on TradingView, Crypto Gary? Yes, there is, my friend. You're going to come over and search for session volume profile. Session volume profile right here. Turn this on. And it's not going to work on the dollar, actually. But session volume profile, you can get naked points of control in TradingView. It's not going to work on the dollar because you can't look at volume on the dollar. Let's see. I know we have another super chat in here. Can I take a look at XMR? Sure, I can take a look at XMR. So I'm bullish on XMR. I'm bullish on privacy tokens. I know a lot of people are not. I know Dread Mining's not. That's fine. I am. Yeah, so let's take a look at XMR. I'm kind of bullish on XMR. This is like my Let's go to the weekly. Oh, hang on. This is not XMR. Here we go. This is like my long-term trading plan, my HODL plan for XMR. I'm kind of looking at this thing as like a giant kind of falling wedge pattern. Now, I'm not saying that this is the bottom, by the way, but I have been accumulating a lot of XMR. Let's see here. Oh man, I don't have my TA for it. But XMR, I'm bullish on it. We could do some kind of macro TA in it right now. This is the weekly time frame. If we come down to the daily, we can see that we are indeed coming down to one of the zones of support here. And I wish I had my chart for XMR, because I would show you my exact plan for how I plan to deal with this in the next bull run. And basically, I'm accumulating under $120, looking to hold it to 1,000. That's basically my thoughts on it. I'm accumulating under 120, looking to hold it to 1,000. I don't day trade this at all. I don't day trade XMR at all. I'm looking to accumulate under 120 and sell at 1,000. That's my plan for XMR. But locally, we are in this range here. So if we start to lose, let's say, yeah, I mean, we already did come down quite a bit here, right? I'd be looking around $150 maybe to find support where we have the local golden pocket. Let's just redraw all this stuff, because this is older analysis. Yeah, this is old. Hang on. This is super old. Yeah, no, $150. That's about where I would be looking. If this uptrend is going to continue, the two main zones that I would be looking to long XMR would be around $150, where we have the golden pocket high volume node, and then down here at the value area low of this range around 130. Those would be the two zones of interest that I have. The fact that we're back down below this volume area high shows me that the market still wants to trade this thing at lower prices. So I right now would be looking just to grab the liquidity from this low at like 157. And if we come down here with some nice bullish divergences on like the 4-hour time frame, that could actually be really nice. The 4-hour still actually looks like we have more downside here based on just market cipher divergences. So I would want to see something like this, where that momentum starts to tick up as we come down and bounce from this zone where we have the high volume node and the golden pocket around 150. And again, yeah, we do want to see that uneven butt cheek pattern for XMR right there. So that could be pretty dang nice, in my opinion. All right, so Bitcoin not doing too much still, guys. Shout out to everybody in the chat, guys. Make sure to like the stream. If we can get the likes up to the viewers, that would be crazy. Four-hour money flow just dipped red on Bitcoin. Is that true? Yeah, I agree with that quantifiably correct. I agree, right? Privacy coins, I think, are going to have a big use case in the future because you know, Bitcoin is not private, right? Bitcoin is not private, and you know, with the coming you know, let's just be honest. I don't think authoritarianism is going to decrease in the coming years. I think if people want to maintain their privacy, they're going to have to be moving over to privacy coins. And I know the argument for that is, well, if they're privacy coins, you're not going to be able to cash out. I think there are ways around that. So Bitcoin's going to roll over. Let's check out what is happening live in the order book right here. We saw a few shorts open up, nothing to write home about. Like, I might send my mom a text, but I wouldn't actually write her a letter and take the time to buy a stamp and all that and take it out to the mailbox in the freezing cold and put the little flag up just to tell her that we had about 500,000 shorts open up here and nothing too crazy is happening. Again, let's take a look here because there is still a chance we could see some kind of a potential entry here. Like, you know, we're always looking out for a potential trade entry. So for me right now, one of the ideas would be to come down to the box with bullish absorption. Idea number 2 for me is to basically get a move to the upside and then come back down for a retest and get in here, because this would now give us a market structure change. Have our low, take out the previous highs, put in a higher high. We look now to long the higher low, and if we do get a move up, that would then give us the retest, the Fibonacci golden pocket, basically coming in right around that high volume node. So this is basically a support resistance flip long, right? So I know I'm probably not being very clear, so let me explain. Right now, this white line is our resistance. This white line is resistance. If we're going to reclaim this resistance, we're going to get a move to the upside. And then after taking out the previous high, we have now officially made a higher high. So now we can look for a higher low, right? And if we get a move up to around this area, the higher low is going to be around the Fibonacci golden pocket 786 zone, which is going to also be our current resistance. This white line will now be acting as support. It's called support resistance flip, right? What used to be resistance, once we come above that, it now acts as support. So if we see continued up momentum here, if we start to see money flow getting higher, and we do something like that, could make for another good long entry. That would be long entry number 1. Long entry number 2 potential right now is waiting for a local retest. So we would be waiting for, this is obviously a riskier, much riskier entry right here, but waiting for this to come in and basically getting a nice rounded bottom here. Our low, our lower low. Now we're putting in a higher low. If we see absorption or anything like that, this could give us still a nice entry. If we're using good risk to reward ratio, we could get in right around here, put our stop loss, very clear stop loss. Only a 0.3% stop loss necessary for this trade, which means if we're putting our whole account in, we're not even risking 1%. Probably, like, by the time fees and everything, if we market in, market stop loss out, it's still less than 1% risk. So, and then the third long opportunity, juiciest in my opinion, is basically getting another move to the downside to the low of the sideways range, because this white line is resistance. The reason why the white line is resistance is because it is the high volume node of this entire chunk of price action right here, right? So when we look at all the volume that traded in this entire chunk of price action here, we can see that the white line is the high volume node, and we would now expect to move back down to the low volume node. And so an even juicier entry would just be come down to the low volume node. And if we come down to the low volume node, that's an even better risk reward ratio setup, because now we can long the low of the range and we could target the high of the range. And, you know, even if we wanted to just get in a long here just to kind of hedge against, you know, I can understand why, as a trader, you would want to be in a long here because we're at the low of the range, right? But assuming we hit a new higher high, this could be a nice, again, this could be a nice trade setup here. And again, we're looking at this, right? We're looking at this trend line, a lot of confluence right here with that trend line, and we are looking at these higher term time frames, noticing that the majority of the trades opening up right in this zone are short, right? The majority of the trades here are short, which means if we're unable to put in a lower low down here, this is showing us bigger players down here actually absorbing those shorts, building longs, right? So we do have to be aware of whale activity at this level as well to push the price back up. So this is kind of what I'm looking at right now. This is my next idea that I'm interested in right now. So YouTube channel says hope it's a cup forming, like a cup and handle. Could be, my friend. Shout out to everybody who liked the video. Make sure to like the video. FOMO into the like button. Let's see if we can get the likes up to the viewers here. What do I think about the 2-day divergences and lower on ETH? I think it could really give us a pullback. So there's obviously, like you know, I'm not the kind of guy that's going to say I think this is going to happen, right? We always need to be entertaining multiple scenarios at the same time, because the only way that we're going to take advantage of the volatility is if we can hold in tension multiple scenarios and then know when to take action. You need to say this or this could happen, and if this happens, I will get involved in the market if A, B, and C is true. So for me, I do think that those bearish divergences could result in a significant pullback, right? A significant pullback, 10% or more. That's what I think of them, which is why I'm short, which is why I'm actually in 2 short trades right now. And if the price does get a significant 10% pullback, I will be looking for a long trade at this area right here, right? If we get the 10% pullback because of those divergences, this is my area to be looking for a long trade. And I will get into a long trade if, when we come down to this area, I see Market Cipher is giving us the turning of the momentum, right? The opposite of what we're seeing right now. Because right now, we are seeing the bearish divergences here, right? We're seeing the momentum kind of tick down as the price is getting higher. But if now we start to see, let's say, bullish divergences as we come down to that zone, that will tell me, all right, this is a significant bottom. It's a significant support resistance flip also. I mean, we could come back in time here and just see how well this level was respected in the past, right? So, shout out to Left and Flow. Do I think Bitcoin can fill the CME gap at 19.6? Yes. Yes, I do. I do. And if we do fill that CME gap at 19.6, right, I would want to come a little bit lower, man. I would want to come down to like 19,200. I would just want to fill that hole, this whole zone here, down to the golden pocket. But yeah, it's definitely a level to be aware of, that CME gap at 19.6. So if anyone's not aware of what a CME gap is, the futures markets for Bitcoin stop trading over the weekend. So if Bitcoin pumps over the weekend, the futures market, when the futures market opens Sunday night, the candle will open up higher. There'll be a big gap in the candles. Unlike what we see here. Actually, let me just show you. I actually forget the Bitcoin futures ticker. Here we go. Right, so let's take a look. Right here, you see this? Over this weekend here, Friday, January 13th, the futures market closed at this price, 19,555, right? And then on Sunday, it opened up at 20,900, which makes a big gap here in the chart. And more times than not, these gaps fill, right? A great example of the gap filling would be the following week when the Bitcoin market closed right here at 22,365, and then on Sunday it opened up at 22,620. It left a gap in the chart. Now look what happened. On Wednesday, we wicked down to fill the gap and then continued up from there, right? These gaps fill more often than not. Now, we still have gaps down like 9K. I think there's even one at like 6K. I don't know, right? It's become like a meme or whatever. But yeah, we really could get a move down this low. And if we do, I would love to come down lower. I would love to come down a little bit lower. But yeah, nonetheless, guys, this is a level to be aware of. right? It absolutely is. Can we even look at volume on this chart? I don't know. Man, I would love to come down just a little bit lower, man, to that 19,145 area. I really would love to fill the gap and then some. But yeah, that, you know, if we fill that gap, my main idea is to hop in a trade between 18.6 and 19.2 because it's the golden pocket, right? That's this level down here, right? I would rather, if we're gonna fill that gap, I'd rather come down to this key zone here. All right, Divine Hood said, I just posted a chart in the Bitcoin VIP Discord. Can I check it out? I could check it out. Crap, I'm not logged into Discord right now because I had to restart my computer before this stream. I can check it out after. Into the Cosmos said, Jason, you do not want that for Bitcoin. What are you saying, dude? That's basically saying it's done. 19K and lower is coming. What don't I want for Bitcoin? A move down? I do want a pullback. Honestly, yeah, I do want a pullback. I don't think a pullback means Bitcoin is done, my friend. Yeah, I don't think so. But, you know, to each their own. Is that a diamond on the daily? Yeah, you could call that a diamond reversal pattern. I mean, yeah. You could consider that a diamond reversal pattern for sure. Four hours starting to kind of tick up here. Man, I'm so curious to see what's going to happen. Let's see what happens tonight, guys, when the CME market's open and once this the S&P 500 futures open, and once the dollar starts trading again, I think we're going to get a lot of clarity here. Might be a good idea to wait for that, and maybe we can get one of our nice entries here. But Lane Hughes wants to go to 20.9 thousand. Into the Cosmos says, long only 18K, never coming again. Bull run started. Well, look, man, even if the bull run started, right? And here's the thing. I'm bullish. I think the bottom's in. And I say that meaning from a DCA building a portfolio standpoint, not from a leverage trade standpoint. I think the bottom's in. But look, here's the truth, bro. Every single time we put in the bottom signal, which has happened many times, right? We always get a double bottom, man. We always get a double bottom. It happened in 2015. We bottomed out, got a rally, put in a double bottom, pump. And on some exchanges, we even put in a lower low here, right? It happened in 2018. We put in our bottom, rally, double bottom, pump. Happening again now. So, like, look, the halving hasn't happened yet. We're very early in the cycle, so we can't expect it to go straight to 100K from here, man. That's actually how people get wrecked, bro. And if you're leverage trading with that mentality, you are going to get absolutely destroyed, my friend. You're going to get absolutely destroyed. You know? So, look, if you're longing with the mentality that the bull run's here and we're going straight to 100K, you're going to get absolutely destroyed, man. Right? So please be careful with that. Not financial advice. Canada Tube, hey Jay, I bought Bitcoin at 23,300, but now it's 22,890. Will it close to 23.3? I don't know. Like, I don't know. I cannot answer that question. I cannot answer that question. But here's what I would say to a question like that. And I mean this in a way to be constructive and helpful, but you bought Bitcoin on spot or you bought Bitcoin on a leverage trade? That's actually a big difference. Are you trading on margin or is it spot? If it's spot, I think that's fine. I think that's totally fine. In the big scheme of things, if the bottom is in between these two levels, which I think it is, and you bought here, that's totally fine. I would have some dry powder on the side and also be buying it as we pull back, because we have a lot of time. There's no FOMO here. There's no FOMO here. I mean, literally, just based on past cycles, we have like potentially like another year to be like accumulating, right? Based on past cycles, we've got like a year. So there's no FOMO here. But if it's a leverage trade, that's a different story, you know? When it comes to leverage trading and even DCAing or buying on spot, you always need to have a plan in advance going in, so that you don't end up in a situation where you're asking YouTubers what they think is going to happen, because if you don't have a plan going into an investment, you're absolutely 100% going to lose money every single time, because you could buy the bottom and have no exit plan, hold it to the top, and then hold it back to the bottom and actually sell at a loss, right? You have to have a plan for that purchase or that trade. You have to have a point where you say, I'm out of the market after either a certain amount of profit or loss, and you need to have a reason as to why you're getting into the market. So I would recommend that you get those things down before even before just throwing money at stuff. But in general, I would say if we're talking about spot, right? And I believe we're going to see Bitcoin go to 100K, right? That's just me. I could be way wrong here. I'll bet you people in the chat think I'm an idiot. That's fine. So we go up to 100K, right? Even if you bought here, that's still a 300% gain over the course of the next, let's say, 2-3 years. And even still, like, let's say that we do come down to 10K. That means, you know, even if there's more potential reward here than risk, right? There's more potential reward here than risk. The most you can lose is 50%. I shouldn't say the most you could lose, but I think in general, I don't think Bitcoin's probably going to go too much lower than 9 or 10K. So we're talking like maybe you'll lose like 50% at the very worst if you sold the bottom. But if we do hit 100K, then you're gaining 300% on your investment. That's not so bad. 300%. That's a 3x right there. And let's say for the super moon boys, let's say we go to like 200K, right? That's even juicier. Now we're talking like a 900%. That's like a 9x. I don't know if we're gonna get there, but you know what I'm saying. Yeah, crypto faced 69K forever called, and that could be a thing, right? That could be a thing. That could be a thing. Can I tell you about APT coin? I can't tell you about it. I haven't been following it. I'm sorry. Uh-oh, you bought isolated margin. Look, I can't tell you what to do, but for me, like, my rule, if I'm in a trade and if you're in a trade that you didn't plan for and you're looking at the chart and you can't find a reason as to why you should be in that trade, just cut your loss and look for the next trade. That's my rule, right? That's my rule. We can't know what the price is going to do tomorrow. We can't know. But when you're dealing with leverage and margin, you have to really have a plan for that trade. You have to have a plan, right? Take a trading course. Doesn't have to be my course, but I do have a 20% discount to shamelessly show my course. 20% discount. This course will teach you the blueprint so you can come to a chart and have a plan, right? Like the short trade I'm in right now, to short from 23.9, I had this plan in advance. I was waiting for it. I had a reason to get in. I have a plan to get in, a plan to get out. If you're taking leverage trades on margin with no plan, you are going to lose everything. Because even if, I'm telling you, psychology is a crazy thing. Even if, let's say, you literally long the exact bottom of your leverage trade, right? If you don't take profit because you don't have a plan to take profit, and trust me, when you're in that trade, you're like, ooh, man, it's up this much profit. It could come up even more. Then it is up more. And you're like, ooh, it's so close to whatever goal you have in mind. And then it starts to come down, and you're like, ooh, should I close it? Nah, I'm going to wait for it to come back up. It starts to come back up. You start to get greedy, and then it comes back down, and you're like, nah, I'm not going to close it. I'm going to keep it open until it comes back up. And it never comes back up. And the next thing you know, you're in a loss because you don't have a plan, right? You have to know where you want to enter, where you want to exit, where you want to take profit, where your stop loss has to be. If you don't have that plan, you are 100% going to get wrecked. Nobody is going to be able to tell you what the price is going to do. The truth is, it could do anything. It could do anything. It could pump right now to 30K in the next 2 minutes. It could dump down to 10K. In fact, on Binance, I remember it went from like 40K to 8K and then back up in like 2 seconds or whatever. So like anything could happen, you know? You got to make sure you have that plan. Otherwise, please don't waste your money leverage trading. It's a huge waste. You're burning through it for no reason. Don't do that. Right? I mean this respectfully, because I've been there. A lot of us have been there. Right? Don't repeat others' past mistakes. Learn from our mistakes. You know? Why don't I adjust my CDW into the val if the val has shifted lower? Has the val shifted lower? I haven't noticed that. So thanks for bringing that up. No, it's still kind of the same. 22.5. What did I have it at? Was it higher? No, it's been 22.5 for a while. It's still a CDW into val, right? I mean, you know, this zone in general is the zone, but the value area low is juiciest, of course. What would have to change on the macro for me to get bearish? That's easy. We'd have to lose 16.2K. We'd have to lose 16.2K for me to get bearish. Because if we go to the weekly, right? We zoom out here. Let's remove our analysis. Our analysis. Yeah, if we remove all this stuff, look, if we lose 16.2, I'd consider that now failing to maintain bullish market structure. And yeah, I would be out of my bullish mentality. But let's actually check out something else that's interesting here. So if we go to like the 12-month, right? Look at this, the yearly open 16.5. We could come all the way down to 16.5, and I would be pretty still dang bullish. In fact, that 16.5 is a juicy level, right? Just throwing that out there, the yearly open. But yeah, if we lose 16.2, then I say, you know, I was wrong. This uptrend is no longer an uptrend. It's a downtrend, and we need to shift back into bear mode. But for me, because of the macro market structure change, I'm officially in longing the higher low by the dip mode, right? By the dip mode. When we get new information, we have to change our mentality, right? And if we get new information again, we can change back, and that's okay, right? We gotta just deal with what's happening in the moment. And if we're using good risk management to do so, and we're trading with a then things could be kind of good, if you know what I'm saying. All right. The plan is my course? No, the plan's not my course, bro. That's not my course. You don't have to take my course. You can learn this stuff any way you want. In fact, just stick around my YouTube channel, and you'll probably learn enough for free. Go watch free YouTube videos, go read free articles, go learn technical analysis. It's all out there for free. The only reason I'm talking about the course is because, you know, it's a course I made. I'm selling it. And, you know, if you want to get everything in order and learn how to trade the way I approach it, then you can do that, right? But yeah, take any course, read any book, check out my free YouTube content. I've got tons of free YouTube content. And if you have the time to literally go back and watch hours of me being an idiot mixed with real good information, you can pretty much learn everything in the course for free. The only thing, the reason you're paying for the course is to save time, right? You don't have time to go watch, you know, a year or two of live streams where I'm showing you pictures of butt cheeks and stuff like this, and also talking about TA, and you just want to get it step by step, then check out the course. But besides, there's a million ways to trade anyway. So a trillion ways to skin a cat. We don't have to. My way is not the only way, right? But if you want to learn my way, you can take my course. Oh, dang, Adam Duran. That sucks, bro. I hate when that happens, man. He missed his entry by 10 bucks. Lowest futures trading fees? Well, I know for ByBit right now, I've got 0% limit fees if you use my link. So that's only if you use my link, though, because if you just sign up regular on ByBit, they're going to charge you for the limit fees. What's a good plan for rebuilding a new ByBit account for $1,000? I would just have a strategy or a handful of strategies that you promise yourself you're going to use to get into trades, and then just do it with good risk management, right? Only risk 1% per trade, and just stick to it. And you know, I think you'll do pretty well that way. I think you'll do pretty well. Like the risk management is really key, because like the thing about risk management, right, is like the thing about risk management is like it takes all the pressure off, man. Like it takes the psychology out of it, of the fear of losing. It's not going to be there if you're using good risk management, because if you're only going to take a loss that's insignificant, then it'll give you just trust me, a much better mind space about this trading stuff, you know. What's my thoughts on CBDCs and how it will affect crypto? I don't know, George Nur. I really don't know, man. I could see it going many ways. I could really see it going many ways here. So I wish I could give you a clear answer. I really don't know. Yeah, you can long and short at the same time on ByBit. You could use two accounts, you could use two different pairs, or you could long and short at the same time with the USDT pair. Right? Man, Bitcoin's starting to get a little pump. All right, so we've officially now put in a higher high, right? So let's see if we can, let's see if we can't come up with a little plan here now that we put in our higher high here, right? Let's see how high it gets, and then we can see if we get ourselves a nice entry here. Actually, let's see what's happening over here. It's like, you know? Yeah. Only limit fees on ByBit have the 0%. Do I withdraw profits from ByBit? I withdraw my profits every month. Every month I withdraw. I pretty much trade with a stationary amount of capital. Yeah. Looking forward to 7860 to ask her out. Yeah, 7860, man. She is a tough gal. She is a tough gal, 7860. Man, she is a tough gal. Shout out to wannabe Green Thumb 777. What do I think of Litecoin? I think Litecoin's cool. I do. I think Litecoin is bullish for all the grandpas out there buying Litecoin, thinking it could be the next Bitcoin. They don't let you withdraw without KYC. Well, bro, I mean, you know, unless you're making, I think it's like 2 Bitcoin a day. Are you making 2 Bitcoin a day? Because I'm not. So I'm pretty sure they let you withdraw. There are limits on withdrawal. There are limits. So that's why you gotta withdraw often. Don't let it build up. Her beer tickles. Alright guys, well look, I gotta head out. I got some stuff to do, but man, I do thank everybody so much for being here. May God bless you all. In Jesus' name. And I know not everyone's religious, but I still pray everybody watching and listening is blessed in many ways. May the Lord bless you, and may He protect you. May He shine light upon you. May He have grace upon you. May He turn His face towards you and give you wholeness and peace in the name of Jesus, the Messiah, the God of Israel. Thank you guys so much for being here, and I will see everybody in the next stream. Peace, y'all.